I met my mate at a Renaissance fair about 6 years ago. At the time, I was newly divorced from a very complicated man, and I was not looking for any relationship, but that's how the story goes. You meet someone when you least expect it. By the way, this comes from WearyToe7857, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, he was much bolder than me. He sat down next to me, sparked up a conversation, and the chemistry was just there. We hung out the entire weekend, and it felt nice, but I never dreamed I would see him again. Seeing as I was the older woman, I am 10 years his senior. But he had other plans, and within a year, he had me saying that. I did mention the chemistry, yes? So we tied the knot 5 years ago. During that time, he has bonded well with my child, has stood up to my ex, and made it clear the mental abuse stops, has provided emotionally, financially, and through safety. Literally what I was searching for. And we are happy. When we disagree, we talk about it, as we do not raise voices in our home. We budget in small trips to see more than just one spot of the earth. When one of us is having a bad day, the other spoils them. We learned one another's love language and respect it. Genuinely happy. But rewind to when we met. The first person he told was his best friend, who happens to be female. She was engaged to another man at the time and freaked out, telling my mate that he needed to not be in a serious relationship and wait for her. He told her to accept this or get out of his life. Fast forward a year later, she blocks us after telling him he made the biggest mistake of his life. I cannot even describe the hurt. They were friends most their lives, and to have someone not be supportive of a mate choice, painful. Still, he made the choice to accept her cutting him off instead of going to her house to talk sense into her, and he married. Now my husband travels too much for work, and while his job provides much security, it does require him to be on the other side of the planet a lot. And while I will not flat out say what he does, his job does require uniforms. Interestingly enough, every time he leaves, this best friend is tipped off about him going. Not by me, not by him, but by my mother-in-law. What does she have against me? Simple. I'm infertile. This happened after I birthed one child. So her devious plan is to have this best friend call and check in on the status of our marriage. Ew. He had shut her down on it every time while still trying to rekindle the friendship. She would hang out online with him while he was traveling and disappear when he came home. Make no mistake, this best friend is a threat. She must be cast out. And yes, I have made my caution clear to my husband, who told me that I do not have to trust her, but I do need to trust him. So this goes on throughout our marriage until the holidays. Ready for it? I had to have surgery that required a major amount of bed rest, so I could not travel the distance to see my in-laws, and they never come to see us. My husband gets told last minute the original people who were meant to go to the other side of the world could not go, and he and his coworkers have to replace them. So he clearly wants to see his family before he leaves. Fair. So with a heavy heart, my child is sent to his biological father's for the holidays, and my husband spends the morning of Christmas with me and leaves after watching several movies and making sure I am comfortable to spend time with them for 36 hours. Unbeknownst to us, the mother-in-law had invited the best friend in my stead, and my husband walked into a tear fest of 36 hours of best friend pleading with him to change his mind about me and date her. If this is not surprising enough, she adds that she always chooses the wrong man and was recently abused and needs someone safe. She needs him. Then she proceeds to confess her love to him, tells him she did not try hard enough and that she wants his baby. My mother-in-law is there telling him how he needs to be with her and not me because she's his age, and they have both always loved one another. 36 hours. Back from this, he is not himself. Now, due to my husband's job being dangerous, he tends to emotionally distance himself before he leaves in case he never comes home. It took me a day of asking if he's all right and offering an ear before he said the curliest thing to me. He tells me that he has not loved me for an entire year and that he fell out of love and was trying to fall back in but just couldn't. He then tells me he wants his own kids and that our son is more like a brother than a son. I cannot explain the emotional floor drop here. The pain was almost too much, not only for me but my son, who has already been through something like this and trusts his stepfather more than he trusts his own dad. And then my child and I cried BS. It took days of me carefully confronting him and backing off before he finally admitted that he said all of those things so I would divorce him, and he meant none of it. He has told my kid he is and will always be his father and my kid, while angry told him he never thought otherwise. Husband also said he is now torn between me and the best friend and does not know what to do. I told him to get on a plane and think it through on his own before he blows up a happy family for a fantasy. She is furious with him because she is not a homewrecker and needs him to make the choice to leave me on his own, and it needs to be done already. I am simply hurt, but I am not giving up on us because two witches decided they want him to be with someone else. This is his life and his choice. He told me he hates me for not making it easy, and I told him that if he really wanted this, he had to man up and make the decision to make it all final. I was not filing for divorce. He had to. Now, I know I'm going to get slack here, but I promise you I told him I was infertile within an hour of talking to him. I reminded him that when he proposed, I lost my mind over it when we were about to get married. This is a topic that has been well discussed between us. He knows that I cannot personally have a child. Not that I am not up for raising another child, believe me, I have offered. But he has always declined, telling me he is not interested. He does not want kids except for my kid, whom he loves deeply. Now my mother-in-law is losing her mind. She has called me an a-hole for trapping her son in a loveless marriage and told me I need to stop using him. I am gainfully employed and am financially head of the household. I need to get out of his life and let him be with someone who really loves him. He does not want me anymore, so I should leave. So am I the a-hole for fighting for a loving marriage that clearly needs to be mended after outside sources tore it apart? Or should I just cut my losses and say, well, if you can't decide between me and her, I'm out. Remember, there is a kid involved here. And yes, I know my self-worth, but I also know that as a family, we smile every single day. That's worth something too, right?